home like that?
Yeah.
I'm here. Come on over. Do I need to come over this way? Just a second. Sorry. Hey, Periscope. It's your girl, Ericka McCracken and friends. Hey, Chocolate Zulu, how you doing? Welcome. It's Tuesday, March the 22nd, not the 23rd. Sorry. Hey, Periscope. It's your girl, Ericka McCracken and friends. Hey, Chocolate Zulu, how you doing? Welcome. It's Tuesday.
I'm hearing the feedback.
Technology. And this is part 2. If you missed part 1, you need to go back to my feed, check out part 1. It was awesome. He said, "Glory down to Expo." It is real. Not no more. So we did daddy issues last week. It was amazing. We had Latoya Williams and Marcus Y. Rozier speak about daddy issues, just progressing through life with those issues, and once they let it go, how it just gave them so much peace, gave them so much awareness, and helped them with their purpose. So if you didn't check that out, you need to. Now we are going to talk about relationship issues, y'all, which is always a hot topic. There are books, movies, everything's about relationships, right? They want to tell you how to do it, when to do it, where to do it, how many days to do it. We're not here to just give you advice. We're here to share our experiences and our testimonies with you so that you can help avoid some of the pitfalls and traps that we've been in. That's the goal. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce my illustrious panel. Well, you can introduce yourself. So,
I'm illustrious.
She's illustrious. So, can you just introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Angela Ray, actress, author, and speaker. You can reach me on Periscope at the Angela Ray. Yeah. No shameness about it.
All right, guys.
Okay, sure. Hi, I'm Jade Bella. I am a business partner of Ericka McCracken, and I've been with her for several years now, and I'm glad to know that tonight. Thank you for having me.
Coming back up.
Wayne Clifford, neighbor to Ericka McCracken. What do I have? I got my own little thing going on right now. Me and my partner, we have this company called The Culture. We're on YouTube. Check us out at The Culture. Not yet.
Coming soon.
Check us out, on YouTube at The Culture and on Instagram at The Culture One. We deal with a lot of sneaker and lifestyle activities. So check us out there.
Awesome. So we're going to actually go back through. So we got The Culture, we have Angela Ray, and we have Ericka's business partner, since she acts like that's all she does. But without further ado, when I say illustrious, I say that because we have a panel of pretty much every geographic or what's
status.
Every status. Thank you. Every status is pretty much represented here. We have most, but we have single, we have divorced, we have married, and we actually have someone on Google Hangout. We're gonna get to Miss Kia from Richmond in a minute, but I want to thank you all, and let's just dive in. So when it comes to relationships, we endure really rough breakups sometimes, like rough breakups. Like I wrote a book about it, breakups, and I'm sure that's just one of many stories that you have about breakups, how hard they are and how hard it is to kind of get through it. So I want to talk to you all about, or I want the panel to kind of discuss with you a breakup that they encountered that was especially tough and how they got through it. And we're going to actually take it in segments. So can we first, whoever wants to take this question first, give me that tough breakup that it was like, man, this is happening, and how, not only why you were angry, but kind of how long that transpired before we get into how you got over it. Whoever wants to take that first, not everybody at the same time. I heard my story, so.
Got gentlemen first. Those sides.
Yeah, let the man go first.
The married one.
Okay, now I'm the married one, but I'm also a divorced person. Yes, so.
Y'all here.
So the question is, how was the breakup?
What was the hardest breakup you ever endured?
I'm gonna move it.
Yes, for me, the divorce.
Oh,
Yeah,
Not.
I got married. I just turned 21. We were both pretty young. My wife at the time was 20 years old.
Can you pick up a little bit?
At that age, you think you know certain things. You think you understand, what it takes to be in a relationship. You think you understand what it takes to be in a marriage or whatever. But of course, as time goes on, people grow up. They change. There are things that used to be cool at 21 are not cool at 25. They're not cool at 27. So just that us growing up as people was was interesting to say the least. Throw a baby into the mix, and that makes it even more interesting at that point. Personally, we just got to a point where, we just didn't like each other. To put it bluntly. That was a hard realization because this particular person was my high school sweetheart. Originally, I'm from Trinidad, so she moved to the U.S., with the intention of us being together. But it didn't pan out that way. And to actually have to say the words of that you want a divorce is always something that's not an easy thing to say. I think I may have just mumbled it. I may have yelled it out because we were having an argument at the time. But I knew the reason that I needed it. We were constantly at each other's throats. There was not a place where we could really see eye to eye on. So that was rough. Just seeing my daughter at the time she was going through it. She was like about 3 or 4 years old, and she was so used to us arguing that if we sat too close to each other, and we could just be having a normal conversation, she would think that we were about to argue. So it was that bad. But I know I needed to get out of it because I knew it wasn't healthy for me. It wasn't healthy, of course, for my daughter to see her parents interact on that level. And we were just not, we weren't continuing to grow and progress as a couple. So sometimes you have to, choose yourself. You have to choose, to do what's best for yourself, and it may not be the most popular decision. It's not an easy decision to then, quote unquote, break up a household or whatever. But I think for me, it was the best decision for me because I needed to move on from that situation. I needed to grow from that situation. I needed to be a better person so that I could be able to take care of my daughter the best way I knew how to do so. And then her mom also needed that time as well to just grow and to become a better person. So, for years on end, she was very, very bitter. I don't know if she's still bitter to this day. She may be. I don't know. Obviously our relationship is so fractured at this point that we just kind of keep it very, very basic to about, just really focusing on our daughter who's about to be 15 this year. It's cordial. It's fine. It does get better. So anybody that is going through a breakup or, thinking about it or whatever, know that there is light at the end of the tunnel. Like I said, I did it for myself because I know I needed that mental ease. I didn't need to have the pressure of constantly feeling like the person I'm with every single day just hates my guts. That's not a healthy situation to be in at all. And I wouldn't advise anybody to continue just to hold on. A lot of times I feel, especially as married couples, hold on for the kids. You got to stay together for the kids. But if your environment is not healthy for them, they're going to be affected anyway. Because I grew up in a household with both of my parents, and as I grow up and as I mature, I realize that some of the things that I was exposed to growing up, my parents were both in the house, but it wasn't necessarily a normal, healthy relationship. There were issues that my parents had in their relationship as well, so that still affects me to this day. So,
we're gonna get to that.
So potentially had to make a different decision. Of course, I'll be a different person, but to anybody out there, I would always say, always think about, how, what you want in your life and what you really going to make you happy. Because until you for yourself are happy as yourself, you're never going to really be able to make anybody else happy, and really have a successful relationship. So
I appreciate that. So, anyone else? What was the hardest breakup that you endured?
I guess so. And welcome to everybody who's joining on Periscope. Thanks so much for the heart love. And if you want to share this, I'm sure that Ericka would appreciate you sharing this with your followers on Twitter as well as Periscope. I would have to echo him and say probably, I'm the divorced one, I guess, representing present status, and it would probably be my divorce. I think that the thing that made it easier for me personally to actually kind of release that, ironically, was my ex-husband's cousin. We've been going through that. We're counseling. We're trying to work it out. And my parents have been married for over 40 years. So for me, divorce really wasn't an option. But it wasn't until his cousin was like, "You need to get a divorce." And that was a wake-up call. Like, this is someone who cares about him, who cares about us. And when he finally said, "You need to get a divorce," that was a light bulb for me. Like, okay.
Why do you think he said that?
Because I think he realized that his cousin was he just wasn't in a place to be married. I think that's the best way to say it. And that was something that I was not fully aware of. You know, it takes two to tango. It takes two in a marriage. And he just was not there. And I didn't fully realize he wasn't ready to be married until, I guess you could say it was too late, you know, until we were married. There were just some things that started to come out. It was like, yo, there are things you have to discuss and talk. And, you know, we walk together. We make decisions together. You can't be here and I'm there. So it wasn't until, his cousin kind of gave me that release, because I was really hoping, praying, trying, and then, when his cousin was like, you need to get a divorce, and ironically, he sent me that text on my birthday. And
your ex-husband sent you a text?
No, his cousin sent me a text. He didn't realize it was my birthday. He sent me a text on my birthday, like, you need to get a divorce. I was like, it's a light bulb went off. I was like, cool beans. I immediately text my ex-husband at that time. It was like, I want a divorce.
Did he say happy birthday first?
No, he said okay.
No, I'm talking about the cousin who texted.
He didn't know it was my birthday.
Oh,
He didn't know it was my birthday. And at the time, my cousin was just like, okay. He said okay. He drug his feet out on it, you know, in terms of, you know, meeting and signing and all that good stuff. But that it was difficult deciding and really being definitive about coming to terms with a divorce. But literally, once that light bulb went off for me and I was ready to do it, I was like, deuces. So much so, this is probably gonna sound crazy. I was talking to one of my girlfriends, and we were talking about everyone that was in our little crew, like, well, who's married, who's single, you know, who's divorced, who's never been married. You know, we're going through the crew, and I was like, well, I've never been married. She's like, yes, you have. Like, that's how much I had written that thing off at this point.
Wow.
Oh my God, like what? So that was hard.
And would you equate that to forgiving and forgetting, as far as, because that's the question. People say, if you forgive, do you forget? And I have my own opinion about that.
I think in that case, I probably have forgotten a lot in some respects, because there are times I really do forget. Like, I really do forget. In the beginning stages, no. Like, it was very raw. It was very real. I think that I had not only forgiveness of him, but forgiveness of myself. Mm-hmm. You know, like, how you let this happen? Why you look at the warning sign? Didn't you great? Was you not paying attention? So I had a lot of that going on. But once I just released myself, it was like, once I released myself, I released him automatically. Somebody's on the ground back there. What's going on with them?
I was like, I'm gonna tell you, did you pray?
Like, really, what is going on here? So that would definitely be probably the hardest breakup. And again, it's interesting that it took someone else to give me the permission. I guess I was feeling like I wasn't working hard enough. Like, you know, there has to be something I can do. You know, I can pray, I can fast, I can do whatever. And because I had done everything that I knew how to do, from counseling to just whatever, and it was not helping. And to hear someone who probably was well aware of what I was trying to do say, you need to divorce him, it was almost like, oh my gosh, I don't know what they're talking about, but I need to bounce. So
Wow.
I'll go next.
Wow. Miss Jamie.
Oh, I thought you would forget about me. I thought I said
No.
mine already. I didn't say mine already.
No, we did not.
Oh, okay.
We did not forget you.
Okay, so actually I've been sitting here toiling between a couple breakups that were very difficult for me, and I've decided the hardest one is one I probably haven't shared with hardly too many people. So several years ago, I was dating someone, and we were in school, and I had a very bad car wreck, to the point where my car was knocked into a ravine. I was knocked unconscious for several days, and they didn't think I would live. The guy I was dating at the time, when they told me, because I had no clue what happened, came to the hospital while I was in the emergency room and left. Continued with whatever partying he was doing and never came back. And when I finally came to several days later, you know, I asked, where was he? Like, was he here? Was he here? Because I knew we were in the same town at the same time. We had just saw each other, and we parted ways, and I had a car wreck, and he was in a separate car ahead of me. I finally got him on the phone, and he was like, oh yeah, well, I went ahead and left town.
wow.
but I'm in the ER. I'm in the hospital. I'm stable at this point. I'm awake.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you hold for 1 second? I'm sorry to interrupt. They are asking on Periscope what the topic is. So for those of you who just tuned in, you late. We said 7 o'clock, but we appreciate you anyway.
Thank you.
We're talking about freedom, and one of the ways to get to freedom is through forgiveness. It's okay. It's okay. We appreciate you. One of the ways to get to freedom is through forgiveness, and we're allowing people who experience different relationships from marriages, divorces, boyfriend, girlfriend, boo-bae, all of that to discuss.
Boo-bae.
Boo, you know, for the young people, for the young people.
Yeah.
We cannot forgive everything. But we're gonna talk about that. I think that
I feel you.
there has to be one in the group.
Yeah,
so
I'm that one.
we should forgive. If we truly believe we want to be free, then we should forgive.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want people to think that forgiveness is something easy and it's something to be taken lightly, right? Because people think, oh yeah, you should forgive, but there's a process. Like it's not, oh, just because it's the right thing to do that we should do it. There's steps. There's yeah, it's a lot. And I think that we have to make sure that we understand that and that we live and process it correctly. Because if you don't, you think you forgave somebody, and then somebody does something that is similar to that, or they do something, right? It takes you right back to that place. So,
Oh, wait a minute, how did I get?
right.
I'm sorry, I was like,
no, but that's what it is. And when you want to forgive and forgive for good, you got to go through the entire process. And part of that is really going back into your recollection and talking about that process, how hurt you were, the feelings associated with that, and then how you can go through the process of actually forgiving that person or yourself. So I'm sorry, Jamie.
Oh, yeah.
Did you just see that comment?
No, what did you say?
He said, I will never forgive a person who cheats on me and breaks my trust. And that's really, it's an interesting comment. I think that we, at some point, perhaps very young, we all have had that feeling. Mm-hmm. But forgiveness, I'm sure that you talk about this as a freedom forgiveness facilitator, that forgiveness is not for the other person, it's for you.
Exactly. So you can, it's almost like people say you're giving someone else the poison, but you're drinking it yourself, or you think you're poisoning somebody else, but you're actually drinking it. Or it's like you carrying baggage. So imagine if every person that done something wrong with you, you had to carry an extra bag. I feel that's what forgiveness is for yourself.
It is.
It is for yourself. So it's not about because they deserve it.
It's because you deserve it.
Right. You deserve to live a free life, and a life of not continuing to go back to different places and situations because there's a trigger in you somewhere.
Can we see if these are just saying these comments, or is it like dudes or?
I thought that was actually a gentleman.
I can't see
the young man.
I'm a lady. This is a lady saying this.
Okay.
So,
but the person, it was a pink background, pink Skittles, pink hearts. I think that said that I wouldn't forgive somebody.
Well, and the reason I was asking is because I think that just in my, as a guy, I think that men and women, of course, deal with things a lot differently. So even with that process of forgiveness, I can just speak for myself. A lot of times, no offense to any ladies out there, you guys definitely react more on the emotional side of things. So a lot of times, because of all of that emotion that's attached to the situation, whether it be whatever the situation is that's upsetting you at that time, you feel like, there's forgiveness that needs to be happening. There's a lot of emotional attachment to that. As a guy, for myself, what I do is if I have a situation where it is, because I did have to forgive my ex-wife for some of the things that she had taken me through. And I came to that point a lot faster than she did. Like I said, to this day, I'm talking about over 12 years that this situation has been, totally dissolved or whatever. And so, still to this day, if I have a conversation or something, I might say might trigger her to go back, like this young lady said, where she's like, oh, this is what I was talking about back in 2004. So I think the process for men and women are very, very different. I forgave my ex-wife a long time ago because I had to understand that, at the time when she did what she did or she acted the way that she acted towards me, that's just where she was at that time. She might necessarily be there the entire time, but that's who she was, and I accept her for that. So I think there's definitely a different way that guys look at things. So it may seem like guys may come off cold, we may come off like, he doesn't care. And I don't think that's necessarily the case. It's just that we look at things more from a practical standpoint. So that's not just, I'm not just going to use my anger as an excuse to say something that I know is not necessarily true. I'm not going to use my anger. I'm not going to hold on to that emotion for years and years at a time. I think a lot of ladies, especially when I talk to people that I work with, people that I just know socially and whatever, I always ask them, I say, why? I mean, this dude has been moved on. Why are you still mad at me? You know, like, because I always tell somebody, press play on your life. You can't just be paused in 2008. It's 2016. You got to just let, as hard as it is, you have to let go of it because it's not, like you said before, Ericka, it's not hurting the other person. The other person has moved on.
Mm-hmm.
They did what they did and they're done with it. They're doing their thing. But you're still holding on to that anger. You're still holding on to that angst that you have against them. And like you said, it's only hurting you. So it's not making your life any better. It's making you more stressed out. They're still living in, and the more you see them happy, the more angry you get.
Mm-hmm.
So you're blocking yourself from all of these things that could potentially be happening good for you because you're still, angry about something that may have happened years down the line. So
it's not going to change. It's not going to change. You can't go back and change it. So,
yeah.
But I'm sorry, Jen, we're going to get back to you.
Yes.
But we had
I don't forget what my story was.
She
I don't
you
remember
was
the
she had
the
a
boy
Yes, you do. She had a near,
Yeah.
and I think this is very unique because she had a near-death experience. And usually when things like that happen, people kind of pull in a little closer, or
They go for
right, or
They
you
retreat.
see who exactly who's in your corner for whatever reason. So unfortunately, in your case, this person decided to flee, whether it because he felt like he couldn't handle it, whatever the case is, and you woke up, I'm guessing, requesting this person, and he was not there, or you were told he came and then he left. The last thing you said was he left town.
that you had called him.
Oh, yeah, I was down there. It's my turn. Oh, okay. I know. All right, shoot. Okay, I gotta come back and bring my thoughts back. Because it took me a minute to get there. I had to go back to a place. So, anywho, I found out he had left town. Not only had he left town, he started seeing someone else.
Oh, that quick?
Well, maybe he had already. I don't know. I don't like the timeline is different because I know eventually once I finally got out of the hospital and was back in my dorm, which took some time because I was pretty messed up. I finally got in touch with him, and that's when he told me, well, he started seeing someone else, and I'm just livid at this point. So whatever the phone conversation was, it ended, and I was completely crushed. I just was completely devastated, and I couldn't believe this had happened in the state that I was in, bruised up with broken jaws and stitches everywhere, and face finally back in order and everything like that. We're healed. My face was healing rather. I know some time had passed. I finally decided to take all that anger I had, all the frustration, all the hurt, and I'm not lying. I took Aaliyah's advice and I put it in a letter. I sat at my desk and I wrote a letter to him and said everything that I felt. I don't know how many pages. It was a long letter. Several pages, handwritten. So this is before text messaging. And
no emojis or anything like that.
Nope, no emojis. Can't remember the contents of the letter. Don't remember everything that I said, but I sealed it up. And the next time I went home, because he had moved home to my hometown, I took it by his apartment and left it at his door. And that was it for me. At that point, I had kind of released all that anger, all that hurt, all that pain that I felt for however long period of time it was. I can't remember the time frames again, but he had called me, and we didn't have caller ID, and I don't know. So I didn't know he had called, so I picked up the phone. He said, I got your letter, and I didn't know I had put you through that much, and I'm sorry. I didn't forgive his ass, trust me. He was forgotten. He was not forgiven. Trust me. So when I tell you years went by, when I my bad. I told you I said
those emotions.
So
she went
when years went by, and I mean several years, I finally reached back out to him. Well, he found me on Facebook because I found out Facebook account. Reached back out, he reached out to me, and we talked about it. I said, "Do you even remember?" He was like, "Yo, I'm so sorry. Like I didn't know that's how everything went down." I said, "God," because he had moved on with his life, like Dwayne was saying. He had moved on with his life. I had to, honestly, quietly, I really did, but to him, that didn't feel right. But yo, when we got everything out in the open, I told him this is how I felt, blah, 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 da, 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 we cool. Like we really are, like we're really cool. I asked about his mom and them and how's his family. And
so you have finally forgiven. Are you looking at complex?
I pretty much have time to forget.
I can't see those comments.
And we cool.
Okay.
You know, and we cool. But you know what? I'm the person that I don't really like to forgive. It took me about 6 years.
But you forgave,
And eventually. But to the girl that said, listen, I ain't giving up. I didn't cheat on you. I ain't giving up. That was a guy who said that. I ain't giving up. I didn't cheat on you. Dude, like really, in time, you have to release that because you're just not going to ever be able to open yourself to somebody else who can truly love you the way you want to be loved, and you're never going to let that person do that for you because you still hung up over that person. So find yourself, get it right.
She's only find himself.
Can you share some Facebook comments with us?
Their emojis.
Oh, the
Okay.
emojis.
Right.
All right. And before we get to, because we definitely want to get, we've had a few comments and questions, and I want to get.
We
to
did
that as
have
well.
one from Jason Hunter on Facebook.
Jason, how you doing, Jason?
So Jay,
He said,
Jason.
"Wow, that's interesting.
is it Jason
That
Hunt that worked with Brownie?
You giving all his yes, that's him.
Oh,
spouse's cousin sent him a text message. You need to get a divorce." So he was amazed by that.
Oh, wow. Oh, okay.
So y'all about to
Jay,
talk. Demario Johnson said on Facebook, "Everyone's time is different. That's very
unforgiveness.
I respect that." I think he was talking to you.
Oh, okay.
he did like it too.
And that's true. You're blocking your own blessing.
Absolutely.
We have some great comments here.
Well, we appreciate it.
Demario said, "Preach." Y'all preaching today.
Oh, thank
Can
you.
we get a collection though?
It's offering time.
I can't. Demario. So we have one. Actually, we have somebody else, y'all. She's from Richmond. She's on Google Hangout. Somebody say, "Keep it clean, Jamie." So we're just gonna for a brief second. We're gonna go ahead and turn the video on to her. She's from Richmond, Virginia. Kia Potts. Give her a round of applause. Hey, Kia. So we're gonna turn the camera around.
Okay, so I'm not gonna see you guys, or I am.
Oh, can you turn it around? Let me see if we can hear you. I might turn this volume down.
You probably gotta turn that one back up on the laptop.
And I turn this one down. We're gonna for a brief second. We're gonna turn the video on her. Richmond, Virginia. Kia Potts. Give her a round of applause.
We playing it back. Okay, so I'm not gonna see you guys, or I am.
Let me see if we can hear you. I might turn this volume down.
You probably gotta turn that one back up on the laptop.
And I turn this one down. All right. I'm sorry. I wasn't keep All right, Kia.
I'm hearing some. Okay. All right, you ready? Hey guys, like she said, I'm Kia. One of the things. Yeah.
All right. So
Some feedback. I'm sorry, it's distracting.
I'm sorry, Kia. There's an extreme delay.
Okay.
Hey guys, can you? Is your volume up?
Okay, let me turn it down. Can you hear me now? Can you still hear me?
You still hear me? I still hear my feedback.
Give me a thumbs up if you can still hear me. Okay.
All right. Kia, for whatever reason, it's feedback.
Can you hear me now? Can you still hear me?
We hear you, but it's still feedback. Oh. And it keeps repeating. Do you hear that as well? All right, we're gonna have to log back on. Unfortunately, we might have to just call you or send you an email.
Yeah, give me a Gmail because you sent me the live link, right?
Yeah, but it's